But I just want to make sure it works with the vocal.
Right, yeah. Yeah, and I thought maybe if it was like Ripley said something and then you played something, kind of call and answer thing, I thought that might be cool to do it
Right.
in the intros.
Right.
Okay.
Like anywhere where I'm not singing, have a field day.
Okay.
Right?
So it's basically those two intros.
Yeah.
Well, there's two intros, really.
Do you want to just do the whole song again?
Yeah.
Okay.
My name is Ripley Caine. I've lived in the Chicagoland area, mainly East and West Rogers Park, since I was born. I wanted to play drums, and my parents poo-pooed the idea, so I played guitar instead. I was 8 years old when I picked up the guitar. I was still in high school when I left my first band. I think my first cassette tape was in 1989 or 90 maybe 91. I honestly don't remember how it came about or where I even recorded it at. I'd have to look all that up. You didn't prepare me for these questions. No Perspective was what my first cassette tape was called. There weren't CDs back then, not in my day. Cassette tapes. My father passed away and I moved to San Diego. I owned a thrift store called the Turtle Lounge. It kept me afloat. It was one of the first vintage clothing stores in the area called Hillcrest in San Diego. And I brought my Chicago pizzazz. I met my good friend Christy, who was my bass player, and my good friend Mike Flynn. And we formed a band called Rogers Park. I think Rogers Park was in existence for almost a year and a half, give or take, and then I moved back to Chicago. I support myself by hookering and making salami sandwiches. Like a good girl. Horrible. In 1998 or 9, I put together a full band. We were just called Ripley Caine, and we put out a CD called Thrift Store Sweater. There were enough fans and there was enough of a demand that I started to go out on the road a lot. The latest version of the band put out a full-length CD called Lover. But in between that, actually, I put out a 5-song EP called Curvy. So every 2 to 3 years, I was putting out something. Band that I had when we released Lover toured a bunch, and then there was a little milk and a Pepsi, so we separated. In 2004, I released my first CD that I did at home on my own called Works in Progress. It was an EP. And then a couple of years later, I released R2, all recorded at home. I make a living by restoring animal ding into clay. At the tail end of a 10-day tour that I had booked, and I'd been on the road alone for 10 full days. I was sleeping in my car at a campsite, and I had a panic attack while peeing outside of the car at 3 in the morning in the pitch black darkness. I got in my car and I slept for an hour or two and got up as soon as the light hit and was driving to Mishawaka, Indiana. So by the time I had gotten to Mishawaka, I had all this time to kill, so I went to go see a movie, Academy Award-winning film, Crash, which puts in perspective, if you have any brain cells, the meaning of life and how to sort of, that you should better yourself as a human being for all to relish in. And it just hit me then that no matter how popular I was going to be, no matter if my boyfriend or girlfriend or child or dog or horse would be on the road with me, I'd still have to go to a hotel room alone, get up the next morning and do the same fucking songs, this new fucking venue, and it just lost its flair.
Shut the light out, no kids to put to sleep. Hey mister, what
did not want to be a commodity. I wanted to be a human being, and I wanted to make good art. I'm not going to blow anybody, and I don't know anybody, so the catapult to instant stardom was not going to happen. Plus, I was getting older. I chose a different path, which is better karma. I chose to focus less on touring and focus more on becoming a better human being and grounding myself in firm soil. Fun fact, I am a self-employed philanthropist. In 2006, I released Logic of Love, all recorded at home. In 2010, I released an EP called Not Like Other Girls. And now, in 2011, brought the band back together in a Blues Brothers moment, and we are now called Ripley Caine and the Full Moon. I support myself financially by taking a gold finder to the beach and finding coins in the sand. Gotta eat, girls, gotta eat. I play my music in panties and long johns on the streets, in the L's, with my cat. I'm just kidding. I usually play music once a month at a showcase I created called Cake Chicago. I still enjoy music just as much, if not more. I did see music as a way to support myself. I still see it as a way to support myself, but I'm not in my 20s anymore, and I don't want to live out of a van down by the river. In the daytime, I rake leaves to support my habit. I afford to eat by having a lot of people take me out for meals. Groupons are a great way to support my habit. Eating is a habit, ritualistically. Garlic and onions, it's my heroin addiction. I love Lindsay Wagner. I love vintage lifestyles. I'm obsessed with the 50s, 60s, and 70s. More so the 50s and 60s. And when you score at the thrift store, you are scoring for a lifetime. Better songs, better people in my life, better musicians, better outlooks, better.